Hello, everyone. How's it going? Welcome back to another Watch with Nordic live commentary stream here today. I don't like this hat. Not because it's the Yankees, but I put it on. You know what? Not a fan of it. So we're going back to the We're going back to this. We're going back to the traditional stadium series. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another Watch with Nordic live commentary stream here today. And we have a good one. This should be a fun commentary tonight. It is a matchup between the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Florida Panthers. Let's go over our game preview here. But first off, how's everyone doing? Good to see all you guys in the chat. If you're new, like the stream down below so we find more people coming in here to the commentary streams. And, of course, subscribe down below if you are new. And going into the preview here, starting goaltenders on both sides. We're getting ready to start to drop the puck here in a moment. But starting goaltenders, Jet Greaves and Danil Tarasov making starts tonight. Two goaltenders that have not played that many games in Watch with Nordic history. Jet Greaves, only 3 previous games, has an .894 save percentage. Tarasov, only 2 prior to tonight. He has an .870 save percentage here as well. It should be a good one. It's the first of 2 tonight. We're doing Panthers, Blue Jackets, followed by Islanders and Kings. Later on tonight, couple of moves there amongst those two teams. So it creates a very interesting little night of commentaries here. What's up, Bon? Good to see you, bro. Thanks for the like. I appreciate it. Saw Anthony was here. I don't know what question you're talking about, Anthony. So if you ask it again, I can tell you. What's up, King? How's it going? And still kind of prepping things around here. Just got home about like 20 minutes ago. Trying to get things done as well. And also have the World Baseball Classic on beside me as well. And we're getting ready for puck drop here in just a matter of moments. Live from Nationwide Arena in Columbus between the Blue Jackets and the Panthers. And here we go, getting ready to light the cannon. That was the cover of our video of our Watch with Nordic promotional graphic that uploaded to the channel and the Instagram. Follow that here at Watch W Nordic this morning. And there you go, lighting up the cannon there. Here in Columbus, and the big boom going off there. Love to see that. All right, starting goaltenders here from both sides. Danil Tarasov is in net for Florida. 20 games played this season, 8-9-2, a 2.79 and a .903 save percentage. He played 65 games for Columbus prior to being traded to the Panthers. On the other side, Jet Greaves, who has emerged as a big star here for the Blue Jackets. 39 games played, 19-12-7, a 2.65 and a .907. And we are underway. Blue Jackets and Panthers live from Nationwide Arena. Puck is chipped back down low, then into the Florida zone. Battling forward here in the corner is Sillinger. Charlie Coyle trying to pick that one up there as well. It's banked all the way out to center. Charlie Coyle, really notable player there on the Blue Jackets, has had a phenomenal season. Both Panthers goalies are former Columbus players. Yes, sir. Sam Bennett will bank that one back down low into the Blue Jackets zone. Jet Greaves will cover that one up very quickly here as we are a little over 30 seconds in. The Blue Jackets, one of the best teams in the NHL since mid-January. 13-2-1 is the best record by far. They have picked up points in 14 of their last 16 games. They're trying to make a run here at the playoffs behind brand new head coach Rick Bowness. 19:29 left to go in this opening period. Again, thank you all so much for tuning in. Kind of trying to catch up here as falling behind a little bit. Face-off now won by the Panthers. Reinhart a shot. That one is blocked up top now. Forsling will look for options. We'll clear that one down low. Lundell in front. Stolen back then by Gudbranson. Now Reinhart trying to flick that one off the boards. Lundell battling forward here in the corner. Anton Lundell fighting with Gudbranson. Now Reinhart feeds it up top. Cross-ice pass to Forsling. Forsling waits, fires it. And that one is blocked in front by a Blue Jacket. Now jabbing at that puck was Lundell. And Greaves makes the quick save. That's his first game against the Jackets. Nice. And ironically enough, some news out of Florida here Jeff Petrie earlier today was traded to the Minnesota Wild in exchange for a conditional second-round pick in 2026. So trades being made here for the Panthers. What's notable is that A.J. Greer and Bobrovsky obviously are not playing, and there have been rumors surrounding those two guys. Here's a breakback down low then into the CBJ zone. Marchman battling for it. Now it's grabbed down low by Olvis Balinskis. Florida seemingly, it feels like they're out of the playoff race as much as we may not want to deny it. So it seems like at this trade deadline, with all the assets going around, they may just decide to sell. Icing here against the Blue Jackets. And again, there's been plenty of other trades around the NHL. We'll talk about a couple of them during the intermission. I actually need to take a break during the intermission and make videos on some of the trades, but obviously many of them we've covered on the channel. Tyler Myers to Dallas, Mackenzie Weegar to Vancouver, Nick Waugh to Colorado. Plenty of those videos are up on the channel. Florida takes the puck around then behind the net, cleared up top. Steverson shot is tipped wide, kept in the zone then from up top. Matejchuk will fire that one down low to the right corner. Now Severson battling forward with Verhaeghe. Marchman trying to throw past the center. Panthers take it back. Here's Marchand through the neutral zone. Brad Marchand now takes it in. Will fire it wide of Greaves. Now Fantilli fighting with Mikkola on the right side. Picked up quickly by Matejchuk behind the net. Banked off the boards now. Severson holds it in his own zone. Severson back to Matejchuk. Matejchuk now regroups with the puck. Chipped all the way back into the Florida zone. Icing against Columbus with 17:47 to go. Well, I mean, again, you take a look at Florida. You have Paul Maurice there behind the bench. Not a position that the Panthers were expecting themselves to be in, but it's a mix of injuries, poor defense, poor goaltending, and just straight up bad luck is why the Panthers currently find themselves in the spot. Face-off in the Columbus zone now is won by the Blue Jackets. These are 2 big points for the Blue Jackets if they want to make a push to the Stanley Cup playoffs, trying to catch Boston or Detroit. Down low now behind the net then. Greaves will play it back down low to Kent Johnson. Johnson being held off the boards. It's back to center. Monahan off the boards then to Jenner. Jenner racing for it now. He'll fight for it with Mikkola down low in the corner. Now Kulikov picks it back up then for the Panthers. Boquist moves it through center. Chips it back down low then into the Columbus zone. Now it's Gudbranson now below the line. Eric Gudbranson pass up then to Wood. Broken up by Tkachuk at the line. He'll throw a pass to Bennett. It's too far away. Columbus will clear to center. Panthers get it back. It's Matthew yet again dumping it down low into the zone. Olympic gold medalist. Now Sam Oskevich battling forward with Christensen down low. Grab quickly then off the boards. And Miles Wood will get it to center and dump it down low then into the Florida zone. Tarasov out of his own net, stolen back to by the Jackets. Here's a pass up top. Igor Zamula shoots it on. It's blocked. Rebounds there in front. And backhanded away there quickly by the Panthers. And back to center. Bennett to Matthew Tkachuk. Over to Sam Oskevich's shot. Denied by Greaves. He had plenty of room there. But an easy save for Jet. Here's Coyle back over then now through the zone. Sillinger gets knocked down to the ground. And that will be a penalty against the Panthers. As Cole Sillinger was brought down, Sam Oskevich, it looks like, will go to the box. And we are going to see a Columbus power play here to open up this hockey game. Sam Oskevich giving a little jab there at Sillinger. You can tell there's definitely some frustration amongst the Florida Panthers and how their team has played this season. That's definite. So Blue Jackets head to the power play here, still looking for their first shot of the game. It's a 2-minute holding call on Sam Oskevich. And listening to you is the best experience. Hey, love to hear that. Thanks, King. I appreciate that. Face-off here now won by the Blue Jackets. It's cool to see that people will listen to me broadcast the game while having it on their computer. I think that's sick. Here's Marchenko back to Fantilli. Shot on. Save by Tarasov. Jabbing at that puck. Cleared down low. Fantilli picks it back up now. We'll give it below the line then to Coyle. Coyle to Marchman. Marchman to Provorov. Provorov then for Marchman. A shot. That one goes wide. Here's Marchenko feeding it back up top. Mason Marchment now at the point. Pass up top then. Werenski to Marchment. Back to Marchment. Provorov at the top now, trying to move that puck. It's broken up then back to center. Marchment gets it back. Over then for Coyle. All right, see you, Bon. Have a good night. Here's Provorov at the point. Comes in. Fires it and off of Tarasov. And back to the right corner. Now grabbing it down low then and trying to move it around was Marchment. Stolen back then by Vilmanis on the right side. It will clear it out to center. Panthers get it back. They'll dump it down low. Vilmanis in shorthanded. Gets knocked off the puck by Fantilli. And now Provorov will take it. Shots now 3-2 Columbus. Drop back then for Marchenko. Marchenko through the zone. Pass back down low. Below the line now Monahan. Clears it up top. Shot from the point. They score! It's a power play goal for Ivan Provorov. And the Blue Jackets have taken the 1-0 lead. Against his former teammate Danil Tarasov, and you knew there was going to be some of that here. And Ivan Provorov with just a nice little shot from up top, assisted by Monahan and Marchenko. His 7th goal of the season. And it's on the power play. It's 1-0 Columbus. Nice shot up top there from Provorov to make it a immediate 1-0 lead here for Columbus. Puck is banked back down low, now off the boards. Jackets will look for options. Tkachuk. Stolen back then by Balinskis, who will dump it down low into the Blue Jackets zone. And puck deflects up into the Blue Jackets bench. So it's Ivan Provorov with the first goal. Looks like they'll remove the assists from the goal. So it may just be unassisted. They showed assists initially, but I guess those, alas, do not count. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Face-off one here by the Jackets. Off the boards now, it's Miles Wood battling for it on the right side. Jenner tried to get it to center. Balinskis throws it down low then. Columbus will regroup here now on the right side. It's banked off the boards. And ahead now is Bennett through center. Bennett poke checked away. Jenner gets it back. Tried to clear it ahead. And broken up quickly now. Here's Severson. Chipped off the boards for Jenner. Puck will slide back down low then into the Florida zone. Sam Moskevich on the right side, back up to Bennett. Here's Bennett. Now through center. Into the zone is Reinhardt. He gets knocked off the puck. Loops it back up top. Lundell coming in. Can't get the shot off. And now here come the Blue Jackets the other way. Olivier will backhand that one down low into the Florida zone. Tarasov tried playing it. Sillinger now battling for it down low. It's cleared back up top. Gudbranson looks. Fires it into the chest of Tarasov. Rebounds there. Coyle a shot into the glove of Tarasov as well. The Blue Jackets are off and running here in this first period. 13:38 to go. And it's Ivan Provorov who gives Columbus the 1-0 lead. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. It would mean a lot to me. Like the stream as well. We're already at 10 likes here on the commentary. That's great to see. Let's take a look at the status report here for these two teams and what is currently going on. So Tarasov is making his third start in 9 games. Werenski and Fabro are a game-time decision. I don't believe either of them are in this game. I haven't seen them, so I'm going to assume that that's a no. Just looking at my stats to confirm. Yeah, no, neither of them are in the game, so it's Christensen and Zamula in the lineup for those two. And then Jenner returns to the lineup, obviously, here after missing a little bit of a 3-2 win against the Predators on Tuesday because of the LBI. And then Danton Heinen comes out of the lineup there for the Blue Jackets. Scratches tonight, Donovan Sabrango and Jesper Boquist for Florida, and Danton Heinen for the Blue Jackets. Apart from that, everything's mostly the same. Injuries currently to both these teams. Brendan Smith out with a knee surgery. Fabro and Zarensky are listed as illness. So there you go. And then you look at Florida's end of things again. It's a much longer list with much more big factor players. You have Seth Jones with a collarbone, Barkov, who's been out the entire year with a knee, Yona Gajovic out with an upper body, and then Cole Schmidt, who was out with a lower body injury as well for the Panthers. And they've been missing a lot of their guys this year. Again, not having Tkachuk till December, Barkov being out with a knee injury. And it's been a rough go of things here for the Florida Panthers. And again, combined with just poor play as well. I think we need to factor that in here too when we're talking about the Blue Jackets. It's been relatively disappointing what they've been doing. But it is what it is. All right, power play coming up here now. Or not power play. Face-off coming up here now in the Florida zone. Columbus is hemming the Panthers in their own zone. Face-off is won immediately by Florida. As soon as I say that, they dump it down the other way. Shot 6-2. Down low now, Christensen, stolen back by Marchand. Pass in front, broken up now up top, Forsling. Back to Ekblad, a shot on, tipped in front. And it was in the crease, but Columbus gets it right out of there immediately. Banked all the way back to center, now Forsling battling for it. Off the boards, Ekblad back to Losterainen. Drop back into the Florida zone. Aaron Ekblad, saucer pass to Forsling. Forsling the Marchand. Marchand backhands it all the way back into the zone for Hagee and with Losterainen. For Hagee, a shot. And that one is blocked in front. Blue Jackets take it back. Here they come the other way. Dropped off the boards then by Fantilli. Fantilli's saucer pass is broken up by Losterainen at the line. He'll throw it up to Vilvanis, who tried to get it around Zamula, but could not. Here's Boquist, who is obviously not scratched. NHL.com lying to me. Provorov banked off the boards here on the right side. Now Mikkola battling for it. He'll grab that puck coming in all alone. Fires it, saved by Greaves. And no rebound was there. Jackets will clear to center. 12.5 minutes to go here in period number 1. A fast-moving period. Shots for both sides. But it is the Blue Jackets who get the first goal. It's Provorov from Monahan to Marchenko. And they make it a 1-0 lead for the Blue Jackets. Backhanded down low into the zone by Johnston. Stolen back by the Panthers. Now Tomas Nosek will move this one through center. Back to Vilvanis now on the right side. Now Monahan. Cross-ice pass. Breaking this one out now through center is Matejchuk. He's broken up then at the line. Now thrown to center. Nosek. Back over then to Vilmanis. Taken back then by Johnston. Ken Johnson. Backhanded down low. Severson tried to feed a pass to Wood. It was broken up at the line then by the Panthers. They'll regroup. Dmitry Kulikov will dump that one down low into the Columbus end. Now Isaac Lundestrom breaks this one down the other way. Lundestrom fighting with Balinskis. Cleared around then down low. Miles Wood fighting with Kulikov now in the corner. Cleared back up top. Gudbranson. Gudbranson cross-ice pass. Matejchuk a shot. Denied. Rebounds there. And just wide. Now Bennett picks it up here on the right side. He will clear it to center. Tkachuk now battling for it. Cross-ice pass to Bennett. Sam Bennett comes in. Back up top. Samoskevich a shot into the chest of Greaves, and we will keep on going. Banked out to center now. Racing for it with speed is Olivier. It's broken up at the line. Blue Jackets trying to keep that one in. Bouncing puck. Back to center. Rodriguez will dump it down low into the Blue Jackets end. Greaves out of his own net to play it. Shots are 6-4 here in favor of the Jackets. Now through center. Sillinger with Coyle. Sillinger a shot. It went off of Coyle's feet and wide. Now Coyle, pass up top. Provorov comes in, backhand over, and Sillinger with not enough room and space could not get it past Tarasov. He had him beat, but just too far wide. Here's Rodriguez now back up top. Reinhardt battling for it with Lundell. Jackets get it back. Coyle circling around now with the point. Coyle back to Provorov. Provorov up top. Ivan Provorov now battling for it with Reinhardt. It's poke check to center. Provorov will backhand it all the way back down low then. Here's Greaves back to Coyle. Coyle. Down low then. It's Provorov who will bank it to center. Now regrouping with it is Mikkola. Reinhardt back over to Mikkola once again. Nico Mikkola dumps it down low then into the Blue Jacket zone. Grabbing it is Verhaeghe. He'll backhand it around behind the net. Puck is cleared all the way back to center. Kulikov. As we cross over the halfway mark of the period. Back over to Marchand. Florida can't seem to get that much time in the offensive zone. Blue Jackets are breaking up everything. Backhanded down low, then into the corner. Kulikov now battling for it. Stolen back by the Jackets to center. Fantilli can't get that bouncing puck. It's backhanded all the way back into the Florida zone for an icing. And Donovan Sabrango also in the lineup tonight too. So I guess, like, NHL.com tells me who's scratched and who's not, and I guess I should just check the facts. Before actually saying who the scratches are. Face-off coming up here now in the Columbus zone. It's won by the Panthers. Boquist now dumped around behind the net. Matejchuk thrown back to center. Marchment will give it up to Fantilli on a bouncing puck. He'll get it down low behind the net, then to Marchenko. Marchenko feeds it up top. Matejchuk to Severson. Severson down low to Fantilli, who can't convert that puck. I have heard things about Greer. All I can tell you right now is he's not playing in this game, which probably means he could be dealt. We'll see. Here's Greaves now below the line. It's picked back up then by Matejchuk. Denton Matejchuk will drop it back to Severson. Severson thrown to center, racing forward with speed. Then Monahan shoots it on and wide of Tarasov. Now it's Sam Bennett over to Tkachuk. Tkachuk battling with Johnston. Samoskevich below the line. Samoskevich feeds it up top to Sabrango. A shot tipped wide of Greaves, and now Columbus will clear it to center. Here's Sam Bennett now on the right side. He'll dump it down low then into the Columbus zone. Florida trying to set up here still with 12 minutes gone in period number 1. Below the line, Johnson battling forward with Christensen. Jacob Christensen now will take it back the other way then for Columbus. Got some room here through center. He'll dump it down low. Mikkola gets to it first. Down low below the line. He'll wait for his team to get a line change off here. 7:40 left to go in period number 1. It's Ivan Provorov with the only goal. Puck will slide in on Greaves. He'll make the save and cover up after a pretty long sequence there of just constant hockey. And we will step aside here for just a moment. Face-off coming up now in the Columbus zone. Again, you think about these two teams. They're both in kind of polar opposite situations. You have the Florida Panthers who are trying to, it seems like their season's gotten away from them here a little bit, and they might sell assets. For Columbus, they're also not in a playoff spot, but there's a chance they could make it if they keep up this hot pace they've been on. We'll have to see. Here's Wood now, down low then for Johnson, who took a shot on. That one was blocked. Cleared off the boards, then back up top. Cross-ice pass then from Baronkov will be banked out to center. Ivan Provorov gets it back off the boards, and down low now, grabbing that puck with speed, is Lundestrom. He'll drop it down low. Forsling steals it back then for the Panthers. Here's Lundell now through center. Lundell will dump it down low. Greaves picks it up then for Florida. Lundestrom dumps it down low. Puck will slide in on Tarasov's glove. He'll make the save. Played back down low to the corner. Now Marchand. Up ahead then for Ekblad. Ekblad dumps it down low into the zone. Vilmanis to Marchand. Marchand fires it, and that one's wide. Now Forsling below the line. Stolen back then by Coyle. Charlie Coyle now down low behind the net. Drop back then down low for Matejchuk. Matejchuk fighting with Verhaeghe. Marchand picks it up. Brad Marchand now battling for it behind the net. Will feed it up top. Sabrango, cross-ice pass. Balinskis to Sabrango. A shot. And that one deflects wide. Blue Jackets get it back, and a whistle blown dead here. And we have a penalty coming up with 6:07 left to go here in period number 1. Blue Jackets and Panthers 1-0 in favor of Columbus. Shots 8-5. We're going to get a Panthers power play coming up, as the penalty will be on Damon Severson for holding the stick. Can't do that. Hope Sergei Bobrovsky gets traded to the Canadiens, and Jakub Dobit, I don't know about that. I mean, a goalie would have to go the other way for sure. So maybe it's not that crazy. We'll see. You got to remember, though, that Unless if Bobrovsky signs a long-term deal with wherever he's going, it's likely not going to be a big return. But we'll see. He also doesn't have necessarily the greatest numbers either. And that's not entirely his fault. I do want to say that. But thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentary. We are trying to get to 5,200 subscribers. We are just less than 30 away, so every sub counts. I greatly appreciate all you guys and all your support the last couple of weeks. It's been a fun time doing these commentary streams. And I can't wait for the rest of this season to play out. It's going to be a fun one, that's for sure. All right, power play coming up here for the Florida Panthers. Bob is 37. He's got to stay for probably 2 years. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. His numbers aren't great either, but he is a very good playoff performer. So I guess you'll kind of rely on that if you make a trade. We'll see. I mean, again, it would have to be a lot for Florida to give him up, though, in my opinion. And I also heard, too, that it's been very difficult for the Panthers to sign Bob. So there's the other fact of that, too. Face-off here now is won by the Panthers up top. Ekblad back over to Bennett. Florida's power play, 21st in the NHL. Tkachuk in front of Reinhart. A shot. Marchand a drive there. And both can't even get on net. Here's Bennett. Up top to Ekblad. He can't keep that one in the zone. It's forced all the way back into the Florida end. Ekblad will pick that one up then for the Panthers. Back to Reinhart. Reinhart to Marchand. Marchand to Bennett. Bennett throws it up top. Ekblad. Pass over to Tkachuk. Tkachuk. Below the line, Marchand. Brad Marchand looks. Back down low, Tkachuk. Feeds it up top and cleared back to center as Ekblad could not get there in time. Aaron Ekblad will drop it back over for Reinhart. Reinhart to Verhaeghe. Now Bennett, cross-ice pass. Ekblad picks it back up. Down low then for Matthew Tkachuk. Matthew Tkachuk, pass in front. Reinhart shoots it high on Tarasov. Now Bennett will dump it around behind the net. Tkachuk feeds it up top for Ekblad. Ekblad at the point. Shoots it. And denied by Greaves as it got on. First shot of the power play there for Florida. Columbus's power play and penalty kill have struggled collectively this season, both in the bottom 3 of the NHL, 31st. Not a great PK percentage there, and I mean, again, in terms of wanting to make a run, those numbers have to improve. Face-off now won by the Panthers. Up top, it's stolen back by Coyle. Dump back down low then into the Florida zone. Balinski's battling for it. Stolen back in front. Monahan pass over. And try to get it to Coyle shorthanded. It's stolen back then by Rodriguez. Evan Rodriguez now with speed. Loops it back around then to Lundell. Lundell below the line. Pass in front. Tipped in the air. Now Verhaeghe gets it back down low. Battling forward as well as Lundell with Gudbranson. Gudbranson off the boards then for Monahan. Monahan will clear it to center. Kept in by Balinskis. Verhaeghe to Balinskis. Pass over. Is tipped. I don't know why I'm sneezing. Sorry, guys. Achoo. 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 My bad. All right. Face-off coming up here now. in the Columbus zone. 4:08 left to go here in this opening period. Mikkola, pass in front. Boquist, a shot denied there by Fantilli. Now through center is Olivier. Power play will come to a close. A great kill there by Florida. Try to take that one down low. It's thrown back to center. Now Mikkola will backhand it up the other way. Cross ice pass for Fantilli. Fantilli will backhand that one down low into the zone. Kulikov battling for it in the corner as well. Olivier behind the net, then in front. Fantilli can't get the shot on rebounds there, and Olivier backhands it wide. Sillinger up top to Gudbranson. Gudbranson to Fantilli. Poke checked away. Kulikov racing for it. Gudbranson gets to it first before anything fatal can happen. Gudbranson now will drop it back. Severson dropped off the boards, then back into the Florida zone. Gustav Forsling. Now here on the right side. Forsling to Bennett. Bennett brings it through center. Backhanded down low then by Samoskevich. In the final 3 minutes of play here in this opening period. Shots 8-7 in favor of Columbus. They have the 1-0 lead. Now Severson. Banked all the way off the boards up top. Tkachuk backhands it around behind the net. Trying to grab that one down low. It's through the neutral zone. Here's Miles Wood. Will bank it around Forsling. Down low now below the goal line. Pass in front there as Voronkov nearly had a chance. Now Provorov another shot denied by Tarasov with the pad. Here come the Panthers the other way. Bennett through center. Deeks around. What a move. Comes in. Fires it wide. He had a highlight reel setting up there and could not get it on net. Here's Sabrango. Will dump it down low. Up top, Reinhardt fires it around. Back over then for Lundell. Lundell to Reinhardt. Fires it. And that one is wide as well. In front, Lundell, another chance. Could not get the shot on. Panthers trying to get the pressure on here, but can't seem to get the shots on net. In the corner, Reinhardt. Stolen back then quickly by the Blue Jackets, who will bank it all the way back into the Florida zone. Mason Marchment in the corner. Grabbing it then is Lundell. Lundell will clear it to center. Reinhardt battling for it then. Now Coyle to center. Stolen back by Lundell. Evan Rodriguez will dump it back into the Columbus zone. Turnover in front. Marchand poke checked away. He'll keep it though. Up top. Shoots it. And denied by Greaves once again. Some great opportunities there for the Panthers as they've pressured these last couple of minutes. The shots are now dead even. But it stays a 1-0 lead for the Blue Jackets. Thank you all again for tuning in. I appreciate it. Once again, subscribe down below if you're new. It would certainly mean a lot to me as we are trying to get to 5,200 subscribers. The main goal is actually 6,000. But we like to do these little increments, little goals here that we like to build on the channel. I think that makes things a lot more better. I'm trying to come up with 30 players for a World Baseball Classic pool, but I'm up to 22. And you guys, and I don't know if you guys know, but I'm not great with players. In terms of MLB, I'm not great with MLB guys. All right, face-off coming up here again in the Columbus zone. Sorry, guys, trying to finish something up really quick. Losterana now battling forward here with Coyle. They'll kick him out of the face-off draw. Now it's Sillinger. Face-off won by Florida. Marchand fighting with Olivier. Banked all the way back to center. Losterana tried to get it off the boards. Olivier back to Coyle. Coyle drops it back. Mikkola plays it to center. Here's a 2-on-1 developing. Verhaeghe with Marchand. Verhaeghe pass over. What a block by Gudbranson. And keeps it from being a 1-1 hockey game. Last minute of play here in period number 1. Shots are dead even between these two teams. Puck is banked back to center. Marchand grabs the puck then. It's Gudbranson back over then the Coyle. Olivier fighting with Mikkola. Drop back then. Sillinger is shot. Saved by Tarasov. He'll cover with 40 seconds to go on the clock. All right. Face-off coming up here again now in the Florida zone. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Face-off won by Florida. Forsling down low to Ekblad. Lundell will pick it back up then for the Panthers. Anton Lundell. Right side then to Ekblad. Banked all the way off the boards. Back down low. Clears it around then behind the net. Grabbed quickly by Reinhardt, who fires it on. Tipped in front. Back down low in front. And stolen back by the Jackets. Now less than 20 to go. Fantilli intercepted by Rodriguez. Pass back to Lundell. Reinhardt. Back off the boards. Reinhardt to Rodriguez. Pass down low then for Ekblad, who loops it back around. 5 seconds left. Fantilli steals it back. He'll clear to center. That'll do it. It was a 2-on-1 that was about to ensue, but not enough time. And we will end the first period, which was a fast first period, honestly. That felt pretty fast. With a 1-0 lead for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Ivan Provorov scores the goal. And he gives Columbus a 1-0 lead after 20 minutes of play. That being said, folks, it is intermission time. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. We will be back for the start of period number 2 momentarily. Here is the countdown to the second. And again, guys, thank you all for being here. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentary. Are you asking me if the Jackets are a playoff team? Is that what you're asking me, Plump? There's no way I just hit that. Really? All right. So, end of 20. So, it was Ivan Provorov who scored the only goal in that opening period to give the Blue Jackets a 1-0 lead. We will see how the second period plays out. Do I think the Jackets are a playoff team? What's their current... I don't know exactly where they are in the standings. Pull it up here really quick. Columbus currently 3 points back. And they don't have games in hand. So here's the thing. The Jackets are right there. They're 3 points back of Boston, 5 points back of Montreal and the Islanders and the Penguins. So it's not exactly the end of the world. They have to keep up the pace they're playing. Like, I mean, you can't lose games. Like, I mean, you can't lose any games. You have to basically win out. Well, not win out, but like you got to win the majority of your next games, and Boston has to lose the majority. It'll be close. I think they're definitely a playoff team, though. Do they make the playoffs? That's another question that we can discuss. But I think in terms of looking at guys here who have, it's difficult for me to say. I think they're a playoff team. I just don't know if they make it. They got to win this game. That's for sure. I think if you win this game, you knock Florida out of the contention by a pretty large margin. They're 10 points back with no games in hand. And they're set. If they lose in regulation, they'd be 9 points back of Columbus for the first spot out. So I think again, like if you win this one and beat the Panthers, you knock them out of the playoffs in my eyes. So I think that's definitely something that you can look at for sure there with that, but we'll see. But I think they're definitely a playoff team. The question of will they make it is the debate that you can have. But anyway. All right, so Ivan Provorov with the only goal from Marchenko and Monahan. Let's update the stat sheet here. Provorov. Ivan Provorov, his first goal on a commentary stream. Not a ton of games that I've commentated for the Blue Jackets. I believe tonight is only their 6th. If they make it, how far do they make it? Well, if they make it, they're probably playing Tampa or Carolina. I would just say first-round exits. I'm not going to lie. This team doesn't have a ton of experience either, generally speaking. They have guys who have gone on playoff runs, but it's not like, their whole roster is built like that. They have a lot of young guys, so if they do end up getting in, I don't think they would last that long. But that's not a shot at them. That's a assessment of how good all the other teams are, is what I'm trying to say. I hope you guys understand what I mean by that. But yeah, it does create an interesting discussion in the sense of like, are these guys going to be able to make it? And I think Boston as well has been pretty good. But you got to hope Boston starts losing some hockey games here and there.
Patients have increased risk of death or stroke. Caplyta is not approved for dementia-related psychosis. Call your doctor about new or sudden mood changes, behaviors, or suicidal thoughts right away. Antidepressants may increase these risks. Report fever, confusion, stiff muscles, which may be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may be permanent. High cholesterol and weight gain may occur, asking high blood sugar, which may be fatal.
Boston does play tonight. Who do they play tonight? Do they play the Sharks today, or is that next week? I know they play the Sharks soon. Boston is playing Nashville. Yeah, I gotta hope Nashville wins that game. Yeah, so gotta hope Nashville wins that game. Then you're only 1 point back of Columbus. No, the game hasn't started yet. Could have did Sabres-Pens today. That would have been a good game. Later on tonight, we're doing Islanders and Kings. As a Flyers fan, I still wonder if they are a buyer or seller, or do they stand pat. They should sell off Risto, and that's it. I really don't know if you should do anything else. Just trade away Ristolainen if there's a real market there. Yeah, it hasn't even started yet. I was going to say, King. Game hasn't even started yet. What you mean it's 1-1? It's all good. It's all good. All right, got about 10 minutes here to the start of the second period. Stick around, guys. Subscribe down below if you're new. I would very much so greatly appreciate it. Flyers are playing the Mammoth. Yeah, I could have went tonight. My boss offered me tickets. But I don't really have the money right now to afford to go to a game like that. So decided let's save the money for now, which I think is the smart strat, maybe. But as I always like to say as well, you only live once. So there's that. I think I was looking at the Rangers-Leafs game. Rangers-Leafs would have been good tonight too. A lot of good games tonight. No commentaries tomorrow. We will have one on Saturday. That's Senators-Kraken. And then Sunday will be Red Wings-Devils, Golden Knights-Oilers. That Red Wings-Devils game, though, I might end up canceling that. We'll see. And it could end up just being Golden Knights-Oilers. But we'll see. It depends on if I can get home from work in time and stream the game. So, there you go. But thank you all for tuning in. Drop some questions or anything you guys are thinking about down below. Of course, I'll answer anything you guys got. Within reason, of course. Within reason, I sometimes have to say that. Sabres and Penguins are playing. Yeah, that's a good game, too. A lot of good games tonight. Decided to go with this one, though. All right, I gotta sharpen my pencil. I think it's 1-1. Both goals shorthanded. Risto is playing tonight, so maybe no offer knocked their socks off. Yeah. If they end up not trading, what's his name? If they end up not trading Ristolainen, I'll be a little bit upset with the way the market's looking. I know, like, maybe you don't want to fully sell anymore. Sorry, I'm sharpening my pencil. I know maybe you fully don't want to sell anymore, but come on. You still got to make that move. $4.91. You want to do an intermission question? I haven't done an intermission question in a hot minute. All right, Hugh wants to do an intermission question. He picked number 491. The intermission question is, which hockey player is the best captain? Sidney Crosby. Final answer. Crosby has always been my go-to. I love Sid. Sid's great. All right, still got less than 7 minutes to go. We're taking a look at some of the trades around the NHL and talking about what's going on here with these two teams. Jeff Petrie has been traded to the Minnesota Wild in exchange for a 2026 conditional 7th-round pick. The trade deadline is tomorrow at 3 o'clock. There won't be that much content from me. I'll make separate videos on the trades, but there won't be a ton from me. I have something going on tomorrow. Let me ask the opposite question. Who's the worst captain? It might be JT Miller. JT Miller is one of the worst captains I've seen in a while. I don't know if Rangers fans will agree with me or not, but he's up there for sure. He is certainly up there. 100%. Do I think Celebrini will be the Sharks captain soon? Probably. I think we're getting there. I think he already shows pretty good capabilities as a leader. So I think we're getting there. It's just a matter of, like, you know, giving it time. You don't want to name a guy a captain just because he's the best player on the team as well. That's what some people realize. Like when I remember when Nick Foligno was named the captain, everybody was like, why isn't it Bedard? You don't just name a guy the captain because he's the best player on the team. You name a guy a captain because he's the leader. And I mean, I don't know. I'm not in the locker room to talk about, you know, guys, or I'm not in the locker room to give a full opinion on guys like JT Miller and all that, but I see how they are in the media. I see how everything is with that, and generally speaking, everything I've gotten from them is pretty negative. All right, second period coming up here in less than 5 minutes. Stick around, guys. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. We are almost at 20 likes on the commentary. That's great to see. Thank you all so much for your continued support. Feel like Boone Jenner being injured almost all last season hurt the Blue Jackets' morale and leadership. Yeah, not having your captain makes a big impact. I'm not rustling any feathers by saying that, but it is true. When you don't have your captain on the roster, it does affect, you know, how you may play. Remember in the early 2000s, there was a trade that happened way after the deadline. I forget the two teams. I remember the teams told the NHL, the players, it was held up because of the picks. I believe that. Ryan O'Reilly scratched in Nashville. Day-to-day with an upper body injury. Probably not trade-related. Steven Stamkos has 24 goals since the start of December. Jesus. A lot of offense there from Stammer. And I mean, again, that's a guy that I think Nashville should be jumping at trading. 100%. All right, I did put them in there. All right, thank you all for tuning in. Again, look at the clock here. That's the time until the start of the second period, so we are almost there. We are almost there. Or maybe a pick instead. Yeah. Yeah, I think Nashville should trade him for picks. You could get a haul for Stamkos, I feel like, but he won't waive. He will not waive his contract. So you're kind of, when a player doesn't waive, I mean, I'm just going to call it how it is. You're kind of shit out of luck, which obviously makes sense. But anyway. Alrighty, let's get ready for the start of period number 2 between the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Florida Panthers. First period recap, the only goal that was scored came from Ivan Provorov and made it a 1-0 lead for the Blue Jackets after 20 minutes of play here from Nationwide Arena. Excuse me. You take a look at the, yeah, I did make that video about maybe him going back to Tampa, but that was shut down due to him waving. Stats through 20. Shots are 9-8 in favor of Columbus. Face-off percentage was 56% in favor of Florida. Power plays, Columbus was 1 for 1. Florida was 0 for 2. Hits were 5 to 4, and block shots were 9 to 2 in favor of Columbus as we get ready for the start of period number 2 coming up here in just a moment. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. And here we go. Period number 2 between the Blue Jackets and the Panthers. And we are underway. Face-off is won here by the Blue Jackets. They will bank it all the way out to center. It's backhanded in down low then by Olivier. Now Kulikov will pick it up then around behind the net. Cleared all the way back into the Columbus zone for an icing with 19:46 to go here in period number 2. And again, taking a look at the Eastern Conference playoff picture, both these teams finding themselves below the playoff line. Florida 7 points back of the Blue Jackets. These two teams have played each other once prior this season. It was a 7-6 win for Florida in overtime. Provorov fires it on. It goes off of Tarasov and wide. They'll play each other one more time this year. Here's Matthew Tkachuk. Plays it in front, stolen back. Shot on. Goes up in the air and back down low. Now Mikkola picking it back up then for Florida. Mikkola back to Bennett. Sam Bennett carries it around then behind the net. Will backhand that one to Tkachuk. Tkachuk will play it to center. Olivier now will regroup here for Columbus. Cross ice pass to Provorov. Provorov back over then to Gudbranson, up for Fantilli. Fantilli dumps it down low into the Florida zone. Tarasov on the right side to Forsling. Forsling dumps it off the boards. Now down low here in the corner. It's stolen back then by Reinhart. Reinhart to Rodriguez. Stolen back then by Marchman. Poke check to center. Yeah, that was when the joke was like a thing. Now it's no longer relevant. Here's Matejchuk back to Fantilli, who banks it all the way around the boards back to center. Now Lundell picks it up. 2-1 break the other way. Lundell pass over. Broken up by a stick in front. And what a play there by the Columbus defender to not allow that puck to get past. Here's Gustav Forsling. Pass all the way up top then. Reinhart battling for it. Grabbing it then down low is Christensen. Saucer pass over for Gudbranson, who will bank it to center. Marchenko will dump it down low. Marchand holds it at the line. Christensen battling for it now. Grabbed over then by Rodriguez. Coming in, fires it on. That one is blocked. Lostranen tried to clear that one off the boards. Back down low. Christensen will bank it to center. 2-on-2 the other way. Johnson gets hemmed to the right side by the Panthers. Now Verhaeghe. Behind the net now will clear this one off the boards. Mikkola fighting with Monahan. Up top, Johnson. Stolen back. Marchand drops it back. Columbus keeps it in. Down the right side, Monahan. Pass up top. Generous shot. And that one goes wide. Below the line now is Sabrango. Holding it against the boards as Columbus trying to clear. Christensen dumps it around then behind the net. Bennett battling for it with Johnson. Lostranen now off the boards here, and here come the Panthers through center. Dumped down low then into the Columbus zone. Puck goes up in the air. Now Verhaeghe below the line. Verhaeghe fighting with Monahan. Stolen back by Zamula now in the Columbus zone as they try and clear. Panthers keep it in. Shot on goes wide of Greaves. He'll give him the save. Rebounds there in front. What a block by Provorov. He kept that one out. Are you serious? Greaves will owe Provorov some beers after that. That's for sure. Here's Boquist. Back into the zone now, battling forward. Zamula will backhand it out to center. Nosek. Cross-ice pass to Mikkola, who will dump that one down low. Huge hit there in the corner by Zamula. Puck is chipped out to center. Miles Wood plays it ahead, back down low, then into the Florida zone. Forsling carries it around behind the net, off the boards to center. Grabbing it then quickly is Voronkov. Back to Severson. Severson off the boards to Wood. Battling for it then at center. Puck is chipped back into the Columbus zone. Now Matejchuk cross-ice pass. Try to get it to Lundestrom. And the Blue Jackets were offsides, so we will stop play. 16:02 left to go in the second period. Only one shot, and it comes from Columbus, making it a 1-0 lead for the Blue Jackets here early in the second period. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Face-off coming up here once again. It'll be outside of the Florida zone. Coyle versus Bennett. Face-off now won by the Blue Jackets. They will dump it down low, then into the Florida zone. Forsling back to Ekblad now below the line. Coyle battling forward as well. Olivier in the corner. Matthew Olivier thrown in front then. Now Tkachuk. Cross-ice pass to Samoskevich. Samoskevich will flick it down low, then into the Columbus zone. Matejchuk fighting with Bennett. Coyle try to feed it in front. Broken up. Pass over. And Samoskevich can't get the shot on. Florida keeps it in. Forsling shoots it wide. Here's Aaron Ekblad keeping that one in the zone for the Panthers. Backhanded down low. Stolen back then by Matejchuk. Here's Olivier now, who will dump it down low into the Florida zone. Tarasov off the boards to Ekblad. Aaron Ekblad to Samoskevich. 3-on-3. Samoskevich pass back is blown dead with 15:08 to go in the second period. Just chances from both sides. Bennett had a really good shot on, but Jet Greaves keeping everything out so far. Florida, you can definitely see the frustration. That's for sure. You can see the frustration amongst this Panthers team. They've had some rough goes here this season. Puck is cleared back to center. Here's Marchand back over for Marchenko. It's broken up quickly by the Panthers. Reinhart through the zone. Shoots it. And back down low then. Lundell pass in front. Reinhart can't convert. Up top then. Shot from Kulikov goes wide. Rodriguez up top then for Mikkola. Rodriguez to Mikkola. Shot. Can't get it on clearly. Down low in the corner now. It's Fantilli who will get it to center. Here he comes with speed. Fantilli one-on-one. Dekes around Rodriguez. Loses the puck. He's knocked down to the corner. And that's a penalty. Rodriguez does not agree with the call whatsoever. It's going to be on him. And we will see another Columbus power play. Rodriguez really frustrated after that call. We'll see the replay. I really couldn't tell if he was the one who got tripped, but let's take a look. Yeah, he does get him in there with the stick. That's a pretty clear trip. Yeah. I mean, you put it in there, what do you expect? Evan Rodriguez to the box for tripping. Blue Jackets will go to the power play. Shots 10-9. Jackets already scored on their first power play previously. It was Provorov. Currently not out there on the ice. Face-off won by the Blue Jackets. Matejchuk to Johnson. Johnson to Matejchuk. Matejchuk now back to Johnson in front. And Voronkov can't convert. Here's Nosek now. Puck is banked off the boards and back out of play with 1:49 to go. Sounds awesome, Havoc. Who is Florida's captain? It's Barkov. Face-off here now in the Florida zone. Nosek versus Monahan on the draw. Got 14:15 to go in the period. Face-off will be taken here again. And blown dead again due to a violation. We will never be able to play. Yeah, not having your captain for most of the year hurts. It sucks even more because that came off of an injury in practice. It wasn't like he got hurt in preseason. He got hurt at practice. Here's Matejchuk up top, then down low for Johnson. That just shows that, like, anything can happen. Matejchuk to Severson. Severson back up to the point. Monahan. Back to Severson. Down low. Pass in front. And a shot there from Monahan goes wide. Cleared all the way off the boards. Back to center. Matejchuk will take it back now and regroup in his own end. Matejchuk will drop it back for Johnson. Ken Johnson to Monahan. Monahan to Johnson. Johnson loops around then. Monahan now below the line will clear this one off the boards. Back up top, Voronkov to Matejchuk. Back down low, Marchenko. Pass over. Johnson can't get the shot off. Johnson now up top, Jenner to Matejchuk. Matejchuk now looks for options. Shoots it on, save, rebounds there, and cleared away by Florida. Blue Jackets will keep the pressure on in the zone, however. Voronkov, pass in front, puck is chipped all the way up top. Severson, down low, pass over, and blocked by Nosek. Columbus keeps it in. At the point now, Monahan back over, Johnson a shot, and that one goes wide. Now up top, Severson, poke checked away, and the Panthers still can't get a line change off. Those Panthers have been out there for a while. Here's Matejchuk now back to Marchenko. Kirill Marchenko will bring it back here into his own zone and regroup. Marchenko now racing it through the zone with speed. Will drop it back. Final 10 seconds of the Blue Jackets power play. Fantilli to Marchenko to Provorov. Waits, fires it, and it deflects up and stays in play. Power play comes to a close. Some good chances for the Blue Jackets, but could not convert. Here's Rodriguez. Cross-ice pass chipped all the way back in on Greaves. He will cover up. Shots are 11-9 in favor of Columbus. Sorry, 11-10. I guess that counts as a shot somehow. 12-15 left to go here in the second period. What a sequence of events we've been having here. Florida was hemmed in on that power play. They were exhausted. They weren't able to get anything out of the zone. Columbus just cycling the puck. They didn't get any shots on, though, really. Shots are still 4-2 in favor of Florida. Face-off won by the Panthers. Shot on Greaves goes wide for Hagee. Now below the line, Gudbranson battling forward with Bennett. Sam Bennett now down low off the boards then to Kulikov. Kulikov, pass down low for Hagee, a shot. He tried to get a top corner, but shot it wide. Mikkola joins it down low. Kachuk to Kulikov. Shoots it on, saved by Greaves. Here's Fantilli now off the boards to center. Bennett, back over then, 3-on-2 into the zone. Bennett to Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe up top. Mikkola fires it on. It's a stumbling puck. Another chance is denied as well by Greaves. Florida has been out shooting the Blue Jackets. And a post hit for Carter Verhaeghe. And we are still in a 1-0 lead for the Blue Jackets. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentary, of course. It is very much so appreciated. Don't forget, we'll be live later on tonight for Islanders and Kings. That is the later commentary here on the channel. Looking forward to it. It is a first-time Watch with Nordic matchup, as this one is too. And it's a pretty darn good night of hockey here tonight between all of these two teams. What happened to Jenner? I can't remember last year. Please, Kings, need you to do something tonight. Yeah, beat the Isles. It'll be DJ Smith, second game behind the bench. Looks like it'll be Kemper versus Sorokin. That should be a good goalie matchup there. I'm looking forward to that. These two goaltenders have really not put up great numbers in live commentaries. Again, these are their Watch with Nordic stats. Both of them below a 900. Greaves, with a good performance tonight, could get himself above 900. So, looking at Tomas Nosek, playing in his second game this season, made his season debut on Tuesday against the Devils. And that's a guy who the Panthers have not had here for most of the year. And they get him back. Face-off coming up here now. It'll be once again in the Blue Jackets zone. Florida getting some pressure on. Face-off won by Columbus. Down low now, Matejchuk fighting for it with Lundell. Denton Matejchuk now will bank it off the boards and try and get it back to center. Olvis Balinskis holds it back now for Florida. Balinskis off the boards to center. Rodriguez throws it down low in the corner. Taken back then by Severson. Off the boards to center. Monahan. Right side to Jenner. Jenner passed through his legs. Broken up then. And Matejchuk will dump it down low. 9 minutes gone in the second. Monahan moves in over in front. Johnson, a shot denied. And he was left wide open. Here's Monahan down low to Jenner. Poke checked away by Lundell. Off the boards now. Jenner trying to throw a pass in front. Taken back then by Matejchuk. Matejchuk to Severson. Back over to Jenner. Jenner to Severson. Severson at the point. Fires it on. That one deflects wide. Now Rodriguez gets it back for the Panthers. Through center now. Balinskis will fire it on Greaves. He'll make the save. Off the boards now, Severson. Ahead then to Miles Wood. Wood will dump it down low. He'll get around both defenders. Stolen back then by the Panthers quickly. Approaching the halfway mark of the game and the period. Still a 1-0 lead for the Blue Jackets. Matejchuk will dump it into the Florida zone. Balinskis clears it off the boards and all the way back into the Columbus zone. Blown dead for an icing with 9:56 to go. How good do I think Provorov is? He's all right. I think that 7-year deal is a little much, in my opinion, but I don't know. He's converted well at points this year. He's been solid. Face-off here now is won by Columbus. Losterainen back over to Verhaeghe. Cleared to center. Gudbranson. Back over then for Sillinger. Cole Sillinger now. Drop back down low. Christensen. Off the boards and backhanded into the Florida end. 9.5 minutes to go here in period number 2. We are halfway through this one here. Shots are dead even at 13 apiece. Sillinger banks it off the boards. Trying to dump it back down low then into the Florida end. Balinskis fighting with Olivier now. Verhaeghe up top. Provorov to Zamula. A shot. They score! Igor Zamula picks up a pass from up top. Fires it on Tarasov. And it is a 2-0 lead for the Blue Jackets. And the Blue Liners are being pretty darn productive. Igor Zamula with the goal for Columbus. Shot from up top. It'll be tipped in front from Matthew Olivier, so he will get the goal. Assisted by Zamula and Provorov. Multi-point game for Provorov. And Columbus now leads by 2 here in the second period. Dump back down low then into the Florida zone. Tarasov will cover the puck up with his blocker with 8:57 to go, and there you go. Matthew Olivier with a tip from Zamula makes it a 2-0 lead in favor of the Blue Jackets. Thank you all for tuning in. I very much appreciate it. Like and subscribe down below if you're new. Why are you saying the Jackets suck when they're beating your team? I mean, come on, Lila. Be for real right now. Anyway. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the commentary. We're at 19 likes here on this live commentary stream. That's great to see. Again, we'll be live later on tonight. Plenty of other games going on in the National Hockey League as well. Plenty of other trades going on too. Still checking my Twitter feed, seeing if there's any updates on trades. Don't really hear anything as of right now, so the market might be done for the night. We will see. I'm probably wrong on that front, but again, we'll find out. So 2-0 lead for the Blue Jackets. Shots are 14-13. Take a look at what the upcoming schedule is for the Panthers. They play Detroit twice to end off the month to kick off the month of March. And then they play Columbus now a week from now back in Florida. And that will conclude the series between these two teams. So there you go. I mean, again, by then we could be looking at Florida in a completely different light. They may not even be mathematically in the playoffs by then. It's been a struggle here for the Panthers, as I mentioned. Injuries, poor goaltending, not great defense. Face-off now in the Florida zone is blown dead due to a violation. We will resume the clock. Fantilli now taking the draw. Face-off is once again blown dead. These referees are blowing everything dead. Oh, my Lord. Taking a look at Bobrovsky there on the backup bench, as well as that, too. Greer is not playing. Face-off here in the Florida zone. Battling for it now. Marchment. Below the line. Boquist battling for it. Nosek trying to backhand it off the boards. Here's Tomas Nosek now racing it through center. He'll dump it down low into the Columbus zone. Off the boards then, Marchment. Back to Zamula. Zamula to Marchment now. Will clear it all the way off the boards to center. Here's Fantilli. Looping it around, looks for options. Pass back down low, can't convert. Now Marchand up top to Marchment. Marchment shoots it. And that one is blocked. Provorov behind the net. Marchenko fires it. And it goes up and out of play. He tried to shoot it there top corner, but couldn't get it on Tarasov. With a little smile on his face after that. Still a 2-0 lead here for the Blue Jackets. It's a well-played period here by Columbus. Florida is currently actually now being outshot by them 6-5. Face-off again now in the Florida zone is won by the Panthers. Mikkola off the boards to Samoskevich. Cleared back to center. Here's Jenner. 2-on-2. Boone Jenner loops it around. Will backhand it wide of Tarasov. Now Monahan battling for it on the right side. Samoskevich picks it up. 2-on-2. Samoskevich to the right side. Backhand through the crease. And could not convert. Mikkola Fighting now with Johnson. Johnson back to Monahan. Thrown to center. Now it's Jenner battling for it on the right side. Blue Jackets take it back. Here's Matejchuk. Cross-ice pass off the boards. Jenner back down low. Johnson in front. Broken up. Monahan now behind the net. Will clear it down low. Back up top. Johnson dumps it down low. Monahan on the right side. Pass up top is broken up then by Samoskevich. He will try and clear to center. He'll get it there. Rodriguez coming into the zone now. Loops it back around. Rodriguez drops it back. Kulikov a shot. And that one goes wide. Now Balinskis throws it down low behind the net then for Reinhart. Reinhart up top. Cross-ice pass. Shot. Goes wide of Greaves again, just like that. Puck will slide back to center. Reinhart back for Balinskis. Shots now 16-13 here. Sillinger a drive. And that one is blocked as well. Cole Sillinger throws it down low. Broken up then by the Panthers. Reinhart. Cross-ice pass. Rodriguez breaks it into the zone. Pass over. And Reinhart can't convert there either. Here's Charlie Coyle. Back over then for Olivier. Up top, Gudbranson. Cross-ice pass. Zamula. Down low. Pass back up top. Sillinger over. Then Gudbranson. A shot denied by Tarasov with the pad. And taken back then by the Panthers behind their own net. Here's Ekblad. Thrown up then for Reinhart. Reinhart battling for it then now with Zamula. Banked off the boards for Onkov. Will try and get it to center. Columbus will regroup now in their own end. It's Ivan Provorov with less than 6 minutes to go in the second. Miles Wood breaking it out now the other way. Will backhand it down low. Now Mikula off the boards to center. Marchand fighting now with Zamula. Off the boards, Provorov. Below the line now, Gudbranson battling for it. Back over then for Zamula. Cleared off the boards to center. Now Lundestrom. Tried fighting for it there on the right side. Cleared back down low then into the Florida zone. Dump back again into the Columbus end. Greaves managing that puck. Cleared off the boards with 5:10 to go. Marchenko to Marchment. Marchment circling back around then down low. Stolen back by the Panthers. Now Boquist will take it the other way here with speed. Banked into the Columbus end. Severson. Off the boards now. A Columbus player knocked down to the ground. Balinskis pass to the right side. Shot on goes wide of Greaves. Below the line, Boquist. Trying to move it here for Florida. 4:40 left to go. Balinskis up top. Nosek a shot blocked. Balinskis through his legs. Nosek comes in, looks, waits to center. Stolen back then by Columbus. Kirill Marchenko plays it back down low then for Severson. Up the head then for Fantilli. Fantilli backhanded to Marchenko. He'll dump it around behind the net. Balinskis now with 4:15 to go. Sam Bennett here through center, back over to Tkachuk. Tkachuk to Samoskevich up top. Shot! Save there. Rebounds in front. And he can't control it properly. Now Samoskevich will get it back up top, and Forsling can't keep it in the zone. It comes out to center. Bennett back to Samoskevich. Samoskevich now battling forward on the right side. Whistle blown dead. Delayed penalty coming up here. And I think it's going to be against the Blue Jackets. And we are going to see a Panthers power play. This is a big opportunity here for Florida. They need to get some offense to come back in this game. They have had the same amount of shots for a while here. Less than 4 minutes to go in the second period. Columbus leads by 2. Yep, Panthers power play. All right. So they got their best unit out there on the ice again. Florida power play 21st in the NHL. Not the greatest numbers, but I will say this. Columbus, their PK ranked 31st in the NHL. So maybe they'll be able to convert. We'll find out. But thank you all for tuning in. Still a commercial break here. 3:50 left to go. How does cross-checking and penalty work? I see teams cross-checking each other all the time. Usually it's from behind when you go like this with a stick. That's typically what a cross-check is. Usually. All right, 3:50 left to go in the second period. Watch with Nordic 1 year ago tomorrow. The Detroit Red Wings took on the Utah Hockey Club at the time. It was the first ever time we saw the Red Wings in a live commentary stream. It was a 4-2 win for the Hockey Club and their first win in Watch with Nordic history. So that was a year ago tomorrow in terms of live commentaries. Face-off here now in the Columbus zone will be Coyle taking the draw against Bennett. Bennett will be kicked out. Reinhart will come in. Panthers power play. They need a goal. And pretty desperately, too. Face-off now won by the Blue Jackets. Down low now, Tkachuk to Bennett. Sam Bennett now to Reinhart. Thrown back down low. Blue Jackets get it back to center. Racing forward with the speed the other way. Short-handed breakaway. Monahan comes in. Saved by Tarasov. It was stuck under his pad. Bennett will take it back and a breakaway the other way. Short-handed. Not a great start to your power play there for Florida. Here's Bennett. Coming in now through center. Backhanded into the zone. Marchand racing for it. Goodbranson will take it back here in the corner. Marchand tried to slide a pass in front. Stolen back then by Coyle. Dumped it on Tarasov, who nearly allowed a goal from the other end of the rink. That would have been nuts. Here's Ekblad. Drops it back then for Reinhart. Sam Reinhart now through center back to Tkachuk. Bennett fighting with Matejchuk. Tkachuk up top to Ekblad. Back to Matthew Tkachuk. Down low then Ekblad gets it back. Below the line for Hagee to Ekblad. Less than 3 to go in the period. For Hagee. Fires it off of a stick in front. Now Lundestrom trying to clear. It comes out to center anyway. Here's Verhaeghe. Battling for it on the right side now with Jenner. Reinhart. Off the boards, Tkachuk. Back to Reinhart. Shoots it. Saved by Greaves. Rebounds there. Lundestrom battling for it. Verhaeghe, a shot denied. Puck is cleared back up top. Balinskis to Tkachuk. Matthew Tkachuk. Pass back to the right side then. Reinhart to Balinskis. Back to Reinhart. Reinhart to Tkachuk. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Tkachuk to Reinhart. And it's in the crease. Cleared back to the right side now. Balinskis. Power play will come to a close. Reinhart to Tkachuk. Back in front. Reinhart. Back over and then to Samoskevich. Less than 2 minutes to go. Shot on glove by Greaves. Not a lot of opportunities there for Florida on that man advantage. They can't seem to really get anything going whatsoever here in this one tonight. It's been a struggle. Danil Tarasov nearly allowed a goal from the other end of the rink. That would have been a brutal play. But thankfully, he survived that, and that would have been a massive dang it. Shots are 18-14. In favor of Columbus. They've gotten the pressure. Face-off coming up now again here in the Columbus zone. It's won by the Blue Jackets. Severson to center. Racing for it now is Sillinger. Whistle blown dead here for an icing. Sillinger was almost there, but I guess not there in time. He does not like the call. It doesn't really matter if he likes it, though. It's how it is. You get what you get. You don't get upset. All right, 1:31 to go in the second period. Boquist will take the draw. Now it's Coyle, who will make the faceoff with 90 seconds to go in period number 2. Faceoff won by the Panthers. In front tip there is Boquist nearly made it a 2-1 game. Off the boards, it's stolen back by Sillinger. Here come the Blue Jackets through center. Banked off the boards and back down low. Mikkola will backhand it off then to Nosek. Tries to get it to center. He'll do so. Last minute of play here in period number 2. Sillinger gets knocked off the puck. Will move to center. A shot saved by Tarasov. Now Severson to Sillinger. Sillinger pass back down low. Cleared back behind the net then. Over for Coyle. Coyle up then. Severson wide. Now Nosek on the right side with 40 seconds to play. Puck is cleared all the way back into the Columbus zone. Now Provorov will regroup with it. Ivan Provorov below the line with 30 to go. Throws a cross-ice pass, grabbing it then with speed to Marchenko. Can't get it on. Marchenko now fighting with Sabrango. Now Fantilli dumps it around. Marchenko backhand in front. And Lundestrom nearly made it a 3-0 lead. Stolen back by Forsling. Gustav Forsling gets it off the boards to center. Huge hit there down low. Final seconds tick down. And that will do it for period number 2. What a period by the Blue Jackets. They come in here in this middle frame, outshoot the Panthers 11-6. And we will head to the second intermission with a 2-0 lead for Columbus after 40 minutes of play. That being said, folks, it is intermission time. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. And we will be back for the start of period number 3 momentarily. Thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. We are at 19 likes still. Jackets to the cup. Hey, man, we'll see. Nashville scored. Life is good. There you go. That's exactly what you want. So 1-0 Preds there in that game. It was Matthew Olivier who picked up the goal for the Blue Jackets in that second period to make it a 2-0 lead for Columbus. That is Matthew Olivier's first point in a commentary stream. Yep, it is. Multi-point game for Ivan Provorov as well. And again, we haven't really streamed the Blue Jackets that much to begin with. It's been a long time. Since January was the last time we streamed Columbus. So you know I had to get a Columbus stream in here. Looking at the schedule next week, we do have a couple of other teams that are going to get some commentaries as well. It's just a matter of, balancing it out. Next week, there may only be like 4. With the way the schedule is, I can only do 4 next week. So not a lot of great options there for me. But I'll have more on the commentary schedule. Probably Saturday I'll start working on it. That'll probably be the plan. We'll see, though. We shall see. So Ivan Provorov picked up an assist there as well. Let's go over the goaltender stats here super quickly. Through these 40 minutes of play so far. Shots are 19-15 in favor of Columbus. Danil Tarasov, former Blue Jacket, .895 save percentage, has 17 saves on 19 shots tonight. And then you also have Jet Greaves, who has been perfect, 15 saves on 15 shots through 40 minutes of play. And now we take a breather and get ready for the start of period number 3 coming up here in just a moment. Live from Nationwide Arena. And then don't forget, later on tonight, we will be live for the Los Angeles Kings and the New York Islanders. That is the later commentary stream here on the channel. So be sure to stay tuned for that. That should be a great game there for sure. Feel like Jet was a much-needed upgrade to our goaltending with how our hit-or-miss Elvis is. Yes. Getting Jet Greaves to come in there and play a full-time role has boded really well. I think I've seen a lot of people say to me that they could see Jet Greaves as a potential Team Canada starter in the future. So, interesting conversation to be had there as well. Could Jet Greaves be on Team Canada? That's the other thing that we've seen as well. So maybe that happens here too, but there's a lot to be happy about for sure when you're looking at the Blue Jackets and the way they've played and the way some of their team has looked. I don't know about playoffs. It's hard to play from behind, but it's not impossible. I will tell you that. It's certainly not impossible. That is a definite. All right, second intermission here still. But thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Comment any questions or anything you guys have down below, and I will be glad to answer them. I would say Jet and Logan Thompson. I've seen Kosa's name out there too. Kosa could be a good one. Yeah, so I've seen like Jet Greaves, Logan Thompson, Sebastian Kosa. Plenty of great discussions to come likely in the summer. I think I'm going to make some rosters in the summer. Talking about certain teams and all that. Got plenty of ideas for the summer. So I still think Jet needs a year or two to get more used to the NHL before something like that. Well, I mean, first of all, the Olympics aren't until 2030. So you still got a ways to go. And then in terms of, what's his face? In terms of the World Cup of hockey in 2028, you could see that happen. You could see him be the goalie. We'll see, though. Still plenty of time. Do I think the goalie the Jackets drafted last year will be any good? Yes, Pyotr Andreanov. I think he'll be good. At least from what I remember. He's got good upside, for sure. So that's a fun guy you want to keep an eye out there for too, but not as well known. I do want to do some updates on some goaltender prospects. I did take a look at Kosa the other day. I've just been so hemmed in with trade deadline content that I've had no time to do anything else. So until we're back from there, you know. Yeah, I like Piotr Andrianov, though. He'll be fun to watch. Hopefully he actually gets to the NHL. All right. Third period coming up in about less than 9 minutes or so. Stick around, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. As always, we're getting ready for the third here in just a little bit. We just crossed over the 1,000 view mark for this commentary stream. Thank you all so much for that. It's greatly appreciated. Maybe Florida can make it close here. Maybe we could see some overtime. Florida Panthers lost the game today. The game's not over yet. Oh, that sucks. Well, I guess you're happy about that. Isles Kings should be fun later on tonight, though. I'm excited to see Schaefer. Haven't commentated the Isles in a little bit, so looking forward to seeing Matthew Schaefer in there. I do not want OT. You want a regulation win. Yeah. Florida is pretty firmly below you, though. I'm always rooting for overtime because it makes things fun. And then I usually also get to post the overtime goal call on the channel. So there's that too. Hey, you won the cup back-to-back years, so Panarin needs to lock in tonight. He has no goals and 4 assists since the trade. Yeah, the Kings have just been bad, too. I could have told you that with their horrible coach they have in net, or in behind the bench. Whether it's DJ Smith or Jim Hiller. I think they're both terrible. That's my opinion, though. That is just my opinion. Finger hurts. So Isles and Kings at 9:30 p.m. Stream will start whenever this game is over. Yep, Blackenberg is with the Avalanche.
Yeah, I think Coach was talking about it. You know, you can see him. I think that's for a goaltender.
Petrie got sent to the Wild. Yep. Petrie wasn't worth a lot, though. He wasn't worth a ton, so that's why it was only just a 7th-round pick. For a 5th-rounder. Yeah. Blackenberg will be a good, 7th defenseman. That's about it, though. All right, game is not done yet. Less than 5 minutes to go. You're doing homework? Hi from Pakistan. What's up, Mohammed? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you here, bro. Coming up on commentary stream number 200. It probably won't be next week. It may be the following week, but we are getting there. There'll be some special themes for that and stuff. We're going to do some hockey cards unboxing. I'm going to get a cake and put 200 on it. Can't believe we've done 200 of these live streams. That's absolutely crazy to think. Your guys' support has been unreal. Hope so. Bob has been terrible this season. If they trade Bob, they need a goalie in return. Yeah. So currently right now, this is commentary stream. I need to look. This is commentary stream number 187. We are 13 away from 200, obviously. I mean, we'll be doing a cake. We'll be doing unboxing of 2 packs of hockey cards, 1 per each intermission. If it's a doubleheader, I'll do 4 on the night. I'll buy 4 big boxes of hockey cards and unbox them every single intermission. We'll bake a cake. I'll show it here on the stream. I'll eat it on the stream. I'll do whatever with it. Not whatever with it. I won't put it in my face, but we'll do some cool stuff for our 200th. Do I want to do a certain team? I don't know. It kind of depends on who's available when I get there, honestly. Or when I get to commentating. LA Islanders 188. We're not 2 away. We're 13 away. 188. All time. At the end of this week, we'll be at 191. So, there you go. Alrighty, I think we're ready to get started here with period number 3 in just a moment between the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Florida Panthers. Second period recap. The only goal was scored by Matthew Olivier, assisted by Zamula and Provorov. A deflected shot in front from at the point once again. Yeah, it'll be 188. Yes. Shots in that period were 10-7 in favor of the Blue Jackets. Your total stats through 40. Shots are 19-15 in favor of Columbus. Faceoffs are 55% in favor of the Blue Jackets. Power plays, Columbus is at 50%, 1 for 2. Panthers are 0 for 2. Do the Kings have a chance at playoffs? Yes and no. They've been kind of struggling. And getting ready now for the start of period number 3 here from Nationwide Arena. Between these two teams. All right. It's a big 2 points on the line. Columbus certainly needs them. Down 2-0 here heading into the third period. Florida certainly needs one as well. Alrighty, period number 3 is underway. Face-off one here now by the Panthers. Cleared off the boards and back down low, that into the Columbus zone. Banked off the boards, back to center. Here's Coyle with speed. Charlie Coyle with some room, comes in. Saved by Tarasov with the glove. As Charlie Coyle was given a lot of room to come in there and take the 20th shot of the game for the Blue Jackets. And it is now still a 2-0 lead. What are the chances of Bobrovsky going to Montreal or Edmonton? I think they're pretty low. In my opinion, I don't think either of them happen. I know they've been speculated, but I don't believe either of them would happen. Puck is dumped down low, that into the Columbus zone. Lundestrom battling forward with Forsling. Fantilli trying to get that puck as well. It's cleared back into the Blue Jackets zone. Gudbranson over then for Provorov. Provorov back to Gudbranson. Chipped off the boards, now Fantilli. Back to Lundestrom. Stolen back then by Lundell. Lundell to Rodriguez, a shot into the chest of Greaves. And I'm expecting for the Florida Panthers to make one last big push here in this third period, that's for sure. As obviously, again, Florida's in a certain spot right now where they need to get playoff wins. Or they need to get points. And honestly, like, I said this in the intermission, I'll say it again here. I feel like if they lose this game, they're not mathematically eliminated, but they're pretty much eliminated. Face-off in the Columbus zone, won by the Blue Jackets. Matejchuk will clear it out to center. Panthers get it back. Lostrainen will dump it down low. Severson below the line, pass in front. Now Johnson takes it back. He'll get it out to center. Kept in barely by the Panthers. Sebrango picks it up then down low. Blue Jackets get it back. They will clear it off the boards to center. Here's Jenner with speed. Kick back down low then into the Florida zone. Balinskis fighting with Johnson. Cleared back over then for Verhaeghe. Jenner takes advantage of a referee playing in the earth shot on front. Saved there by Tarasov. Now Monahan battling forward with Lostrainen. Pass in front. Jenner! He scores! The captain, Boone Jenner, with a pass in front. And it is 3-0 Columbus. Boone Jenner with a nice little pass from down low makes it 3-0 in favor of the Blue Jackets. Assist on that goal is Ken Johnson. It is Jenner's 9th goal of the year, and you hear some loud cheers here from the Columbus crowd. Shots now 22-16. Face-off here now, won by the Panthers. Mikkola will dump it down low into the Blue Jackets' end. Off the boards by Zamula. Provorov fighting here now on the right side. Ivan Provorov trying to get that one free. Matthew Tkachuk will dump it around then behind the net, kept in by Kulikov. So now the Blue Jackets essentially may have just put this game out of reach. Here's Coyle. Backhanding all the way back down low. Mikkola over to Nosek. Played back then quickly by Boquist. Boquist off the boards to Nosek. Tomas Nosek now will dump it back into the Columbus zone. On the right side, Nosek broken stick. Ekblad to Forsling. Shoots it. Tipped. Up in the air and wide. Now Vilmanis picks it up down low. Vilmanis up top. Ekblad right side. Forsling a shot. And that one is denied by Greaves. Now Lostrainen below the line, battling forward with Provorov. Verhaeghe dumps it down low to the corner. Marchand clears it up top. Forsling off the boards to Marchand. Marchand to Forsling. Fires it on. It goes up in the air behind the net. Puck slides in front. Stolen back then by Lostrainen. Marchand Tries clearing it down low. It's grabbed quickly then by Verhaeghe. Stolen back by Columbus, who will backhand it to center. Verhaeghe takes it back then for Florida. Comes in, shoots it on Greaves. He makes the save. Charlie Coyle intercepted then by the Panthers. Stolen back by Olivier, who already has a goal tonight. Will break this one through center. Broken up then by Ekblad. Aaron Ekblad now below the line. Coyle dumps it down low. Olivier battling for it. Now Charlie Coyle here on the right side below the line. Fires it on. It goes off and out of play. Went off of Tarasov's mask, in fact. Shots in this game now 23-18. Blue Jackets still getting plenty of opportunities on. Jet Greaves has played phenomenal here tonight. He's made every save that has come his way. And I guess that's exactly what you want. I mean, again, the Blue Jackets are in a position right now where if they get the win, they can move in 1 point from a playoff spot. You got to win all the games you can. Face off now. It's Mikkola battling for it down low with Sillinger. Nico Mikkola picks it up down low. Pass up to Kulikov. Kulikov to the right side. Played down low then. Gloved by Greaves, who will make the save with 16:09 to go. Face-off coming up here now in the Columbus zone. It's won by the Blue Jackets, who will get it to center. In the neutral zone now, it's dumped in down low. Bennett battling for it now with Kulikov. On the right side, Mikkola back to Tkachuk. Stolen back then by the Blue Jackets. Coyle, cross-ice pass. Sillinger can't get a shot on. Dumps it around then behind the net. Mikkola fighting with Coyle. Below the line, Nico Mikkola trying to get it back then. Olivier battling for it as well. Here's Matthew Tkachuk. Cross-ice pass to Kulikov, who will dump it down low to the Blue Jackets' end. Greaves will give it back then for Coyle. Charlie Coyle now will bank it out to center. Blue Jackets will dump it down low. Now Sebrango. Poke checked ahead. Lundestrom to Monahan. Monahan in front. Marchenko deking in. Can't get the shot on. Now Balinska's battling for with Monahan. Marchenko will clear it up top. Nobody is at the point to keep that one in for the Blue Jackets. And the puck will slide back down low to the Columbus end. Marchenko. Down low to Christensen. Christensen to Gudbranson. Gudbranson now will play a pass ahead. It's dumped down low into the Florida zone. Sebrango. Here in the corner. Balinskis battling for it here as well. Monahan trying to get that puck free as well. Puck is still stuck in the corner. And Monahan falls down to the ground. That'll be a penalty coming up against the Panthers. Delayed penalty. Down low, Monahan pass over. Deflected up in the air. It's in on Tarasov. And the referee blows the whistle. With 14:16 to go, some pushing and shoving. And we are going to see a Columbus power play as they have a 3-0 lead. Some helmets fly off. And we are still getting some physicality. Sebrango getting into it there. Jenner fighting with Reinhart. Tarasov's just watching as his current and former teammates just go at it. Still getting physical here. We're still seeing some punches being thrown. We'll see if there's any more penalties assessed in light of that, but it looks like there will be some more penalties that are drawn off of that physical play. Gudbranson's going to the box. I wonder what they will end up calling this. Here are the calls. So just penalties on Goodbranson and Sabrango for the physicality on that play. And now we will see a Columbus power play still, as it is a 3-0 lead for the Blue Jackets. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Don't forget, Islanders Kings later on tonight, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Still a fun commentary here. I've had a good time, that's for sure. Hope you guys have as well. And again, looking at, again, sometimes the commentaries, they may not do as well as others. And we haven't streamed the Blue Jackets that much. I would love to change that. This is only the 6th time we stream them. Florida is their 20th time. You guys know that we love to commentate all 32 teams here on the channel. I try and do it as equally as I can, and that's what makes it fun. Here's Marchenko chipping it down low then into the Florida zone. Monahan battling for it then. It's Fantilli up top to Provorov. Trying to clear it back down low. Fantilli down low below the line. Monahan in front. Slides in on Tarasov. He'll make the save. Marchenko was right there but couldn't get the pass over directly. Now Tkachuk. Up then for Bennett. 2-on-1. Bennett into the zone. Pass over. What a block. Forsling a chance. Denied by Greaves. Jet Greaves, have yourself a game. You're going to be at the Jackets-Bruins game on the 29th? Nice. For your birthday. Happy belated birthday. Alrighty, face-off coming up here in the Columbus zone. Update on the trade front. The Detroit Red Wings have acquired David Perron from the Ottawa Senators in exchange for a 4th-round pick. And that is now currently the only trade we've had through this live commentary stream. I figured there'd be another one, but it seems like the Ottawa Senators are starting to sell off some picks. Face-off one here now by the Blue Jackets. 1:15 to go on the power play. Shots are 24-20. Marchenko to Coyle now at the blue line. Kept in the zone. Fantilli dekes around. Pass up. Deflects in the air. Stays in play. Marchenko. Up top. Provorov. Pass back to Fantilli. Provorov now up top. Down low then Monahan. Broken up then by Florida. Here's Losterainen. Cross-ice pass. Lundell. Backhands it down low. Losterainen can't get the shot on. Now Monahan battling forward here on the right side. Coyle trying to get it free as well. Charlie Coyle back to Marchment. Mason Marchment will chip it down low then into the Blue Jackets zone. Columbus will regroup now on their own end. Here's Johnson. Through center. 20 seconds to go. Johnson now battling forward in the corner. Cleared around then behind the net to Voronkov. Voronkov banked all the way to center. Matejchuk now battling forward with Nosek. Power play is going to come to a close here. Columbus could not convert. Matejchuk will dump it around then behind the net. As we're back to 5-on-5. Voronkov down low. Jenner! And that nearly went on the top corner there. A lot of top corner shots tonight. Boquist will gain the red line and dump it back down low then into the Columbus zone. Matejchuk battling forward now with Verhaeghe. Banked off the boards. Up top, Tkachuk battling forward with Olivier. Trying to get it to center. Yeah, Perron is a Red Wing once again. Puck is flipped in there on Greaves. He will make the save. 11:45 left to go in the third period. Columbus leads by 3. And that being said, guys, I'm going to go use the bathroom really quick. I will be right back. Just got to go to the bathroom real quick because I don't think I'll have time before Islanders Kings start. I shall return.
My moderate to severe Crohn's symptoms kept me out of the picture. Now I have Skyrizi. And now I'm back in the picture. Skyrizi is the only IL-23 inhibitor proven to help achieve remission, meaning improving symptoms in just 4 weeks for some people. Many were in remission at 12 weeks, at 1 year, and even at 4 years. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help physically repair damage of an intestinal organ. Don't use allergic. Serious allergic.
Alrighty, I have returned. Sorry about that, guys. Thank you all so much for being in the commentary. It is greatly appreciated. I have a lot of videos I need to make in terms of trades. Pred scored again. Good. All right. Face-off coming up here in the Columbus zone. Jed Greaves tonight, 20 saves on 20 shots. 11:45 away from another 2 points. Face-off here now. Taken back by the Jackets. They will get it out to center. Charlie Coyle will chip this one down low. Blue Jackets trying to get it back. Gudbranson on the right side will dump it down low. Olivier fighting here with Kulikov. Anton Lundell off the boards now. Kulikov battling for it. Cleared back up to the point. Jackets keep it in. Provorov to Gudbranson. Back over then. Sillinger trying to handle that puck. Chipped around then behind the net then by Evan Rodriguez. Will throw a pass up to center. Reinhart will break this one into the zone. He'll dump it down low. Pass over and deflected away. Reinhart to Ekblad. Tipped. They score. I think Nico Mikkola got the redirect in front. And he breaks the shutout. And the Panthers are on the board. It's 3-1 with 10:52 to go. The game is not over. And Nico Mikkola picks up a tip from an Aaron Ekblad shot. I think Ekblad's the only one with the assist on that goal. And he makes it a 3-1 lead. Nico Mikkola, just his second goal of the season. And the Panthers are on the board. It's a 3-1 hockey game. So as it pertains to the Panthers, now they find themselves within 2. I would keep an eye out for Tarasov when we get to the latter half. Shot from up top there is broken up. Now Tkachuk battling for it. Sam Moskevich back over to Forsling. Forsling here on the right side. Banked off the boards to center. Severson. Chip back down low then into the Florida zone. Sam Moskevich. Played back ahead then down low into the Columbus zone. Gudbranson. Back over then for Christensen as we cross the halfway mark in this third period. So Florida does get on the board. It's Mikkola from Ekblad and Reinhart. Fantilli back over then to Gudbranson. Fires a shot on. Now he'll battle for it here down low. Lostrainen banked off the boards up top. Backhanded by Christensen down low. Fantilli's shot deflected up in the air and out of play. 9.5 minutes to go here in period number 3. And the Blue Jackets lead the Panthers by 2 here in the third. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement as well. It will bring more people into the commentary too. So that would be greatly appreciated. Yeah, so Nico Mikkola picks up the goal from the pass from Reinhart, and then Ekblad fires it. And there you go. It is a 3-1 hockey game. It does stink because, you know, a guy like Jack Greaves playing really well tonight did deserve the shutout. Unfortunately, was unable to do so. Fun fact, there have only been a grand total of 14 goaltenders who have had shutouts, 16 different ones all time. 2 goaltenders with 2 shutouts. Only 14 goalies have been able to get a shutout. Nobody ever from the Blue Jackets or the Panthers. So if you like it, they will come. Field of Dreams, yep. That's exactly where I referenced that from. All right, 9:38 left to go in the third period. Blue Jackets lead the Panthers by 2. Face-off now coming up here again in the Florida zone. Nosek versus Monahan. Face-off won by Florida. Kulikov off the boards. Pass over then for Boquist. Deflected up top. Provorov. Banked all the way to center. Here's Monahan to Jenner. Back to Johnson. Ken Johnson now on the right side. Feeds it up top. Bank back down low here in the corner. Monahan battling for it. Ken Johnson now below the line. Taken back then by Florida. Vilmanis will clear to center. Zamula tried to bank that one off the boards. Here's Provorov now down low. We'll drop it back for Zamula, who will hold it behind his own net. We'll look for options. Zamula, cross ice pass to Goodbranson, who will chip it down low then into the Florida zone. Rodriguez battling for it. Banked off by Ekblad. Shot on, denied by Tarasov. Cleared back to the right side. Matejchuk down low then for Coyle. Pass in front. Stolen back then by the Panthers. Here they come the other way. 8.5 minutes to go. Dump down low now. Lundell to Forsling. Chip back into the corner. Matejchuk battling forward with Reinhart and Rodriguez. Stolen back then by Columbus. They will flip it to center. Panthers now regroup in their own end. Here's Gustav Forsling. Off to Lundell. Reinhart battling for it. Puck is chipped to center. It's grabbed then by Sabrango. Below the line now. Lundell will pick it back up for Florida. Less than 8 minutes to go. Don't forget Islanders Kings. That stream will begin right after this one. Here's Bennett. Fires it on wide. Now Sabrango. Back over to Samoskevich. Below the line then Goodbranson. Cleared to center. Here come the Jackets the other way. Fantilli. Drop back in front. And Voronkov could not convert. He would have put the game away. Here's Fantilli. Clearing it around then behind the net. Sabrango then for Samoskevich. Mackie Samoskevich will dump it down low then into the Columbus zone. Tkachuk. Broken up then to center. Samoskevich lost his stick. Panthers fans upset about a penalty. Here's Kulikov back to Mikkola. Mikkola back to Kulikov now as the Panthers bring it through center. I don't know about the Kings. The Kings have definitely not been hot. The Islanders have. Whistle blown with 6:50 to go. Paul Maurice very upset over a Rodriguez call that was missed. Very upset with the officiating today as the Panthers Marchand and Monahan talking to the refs. Not happy with the current picks that have gone down. Maurice talking to the referees here. There'll be a discussion for a brief moment. And again, just thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Samoskevich appears to be all right. Face-off now is won by the Panthers. Kulikov carrying it now down low. Through center, Mikkola will dump it down low into the Columbus zone. Who do I think wins the Calder? I think it should be Beckett Seneca. Beckett Seneca should win it. Battling for it in the corner now. Reinhardt kick back then to Marchenko. Now Reinhardt here on the right side. Brings it below the line. Marchenko. Cleared back up top. Kulikov. Looping around. Dmitry Kulikov up top. Lundell shot tipped wide. Delay penalty coming up. And it's against the Blue Jackets. And we are going to get a Panthers power play coming up. So I guess ask and you shall receive. And Florida will head to the man advantage with 5:58 to go in the third. Demidov's a rookie too. Yeah, Demidov's a good pick. But I think Seneca leads in points currently. If the race ended today, he should win. That's my opinion. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. And now we get ready for a Panthers power play coming up. This is a massive opportunity. If the Panthers can get a goal here, they're within one. And then after that, you never know. You never know. But again, I appreciate all of your continued support here this season on the channel. It's been a phenomenal last couple of weeks. And as we head into the third month of the calendar year, we have had analytically one of our best years in channel history. And I really appreciate all your guys' support. I cannot do it without you guys. It's been incredible the work we've been able to do. Plenty of trade videos coming up on the channel. There'll be a couple this weekend too. It's going to be difficult for me to get to a lot of the trades because of I have something going on tomorrow with the hockey team I cover. So it may be hard for me to do some trade posts. Hey, don't do that. I'll get shadow banned. All right, power play coming up here for the Panthers and take them till 3:58. I wonder if they'll pull Tarasov here at some point. I know there's 6 minutes to go, but you got to do something here. They haven't even had a shot since they scored. Face-off in the Columbus zone. Bennett versus Coyle. Face-off won by the Panthers. Ekblad drops it back to Bennett. Bennett to Ekblad. Fires it on save. Rebounds in front. Jabbing at that puck. Trying to get it free on Greaves. Bennett a shot. What a block. Rebound again. Reinhart denied. It goes wide. Now Bennett trying to get it back. And Monahan will backhand it out to center. Are you serious? How did that puck stay out? Are you kidding me? Here's Marchand now dumping it down low. Tkachuk up top. Below the line now. Tkachuk to Ekblad. Aaron Ekblad on the right side. Tarasov to the bench. Bennett a shot. He scores! 5:16 left to go in period number 3. And Sam Bennett has made it a 3-2 hockey game. And all of a sudden, things have gotten very interesting here in Columbus. Sam Bennett with 5:16 to go. And after a monumentous amount of pressure, Sam Bennett scores his 23rd of the year on the power play. It's 3-2. Sam Bennett now picking up his 11th goal in a commentary stream all time. We are back to 5-on-5. Keep an eye out for Tarasov. Face-off now is won back by the Panthers. Samoskevich will dump it down low to the Columbus zone. Greaves back to Severson. Severson below the line. Sillinger trying to bank it off the boards. Florida keeps it in. Samoskevich's shot, glove by Greaves. With 4:58 to go in the third. Keep an eye out for Danil Tarasov. If they get a chance to pull him, they will. And again, Islanders and Kings is expected to start in about 10 minutes or so. If we are not live in time, we'll start as soon as this stream ends. Face-off now in the Columbus zone. Assist on that Bennett goal was Ekblad and Tkachuk. Face-off is won by the Panthers so well they can't keep it in their own zone. Columbus will break it back the other way. Wood. Cleared back up top. Back down low then into the Florida zone. Nico Mikkola. Back to Lundell. Lundell will dump it into the Columbus zone. Dumped around behind the net. Mikkola will try and pick it up and get it back to center. Can't get there in time. Here's Lundell now in the Columbus zone. Lundell back-to-back shot on. Deflected by Reinhart and wide. Balinskis up top to Mikkola. Mikkola cleared down low into the corner. Reinhart with 4 minutes to go. Pass up top. Lundell can't convert. Now Reinhart off the boards. Mikkola shoots it wide. Now Gudbranson for Olivier. Will bank it ahead. Here come the Jackets. 2-on-2. Sillinger shoots it. And that one is wide of Tarasov. Puck will slide back into the Columbus zone. 3:40 left to go. The shots are now dead even. Fantilli will backhand it into the zone. Adam Fantilli now battling for it on the right side. Bank back to center. And an icing here against the Blue Jackets with 3:25 to go. I don't imagine they will pull Tarasov yet. I don't think we're there. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. Sam Bennett and Nico Mikkola have made this game very interesting. Face-off coming up now in the Columbus zone, won by Florida. Tkachuk to Bennett, denied. Rebounds there, and wide and out of play. With 3:19 to go. So there you go. And a very interesting sequence there. I feel you, Lila. Kachuk with a great angle there on that shot. Could not convert. Shot's 28-26 now. Face-off won by the Blue Jackets. The clock will run down slowly but surely. Banked all the way back to center. Forsling down low. Thrown ahead then for Boquist. Boquist then to Samoskevich. A backhand goes wide. Losterainen back over. Samoskevich to Kulikov. Up top. Forsling. He scores! We are tied at 3. Gustav Forsling fires it up top. And with 2:55 to go, the Panthers have tied it at 3 apiece. Gustav Forsling, a shot from up top. His third of the year. 2 of the 3 goals from Florida have come from defensemen. They will take a look at this. They're going to take a look and possibly challenge. I think Bonus is going to challenge this. And it looks like they are going to challenge. Yes, they are. They will challenge this goal for goalie interference. It's a big risk. If it doesn't go their way, they're somehow shorthanded for the rest of the regulation. Flyers got shut out, of course. So let's take a look here. Boquist fighting with Provorov. Let me see that. Let me see that again. That's not a good angle. I can't see shit. So Boquist is in the crease. Provorov is right next to him. Is there enough definitive evidence? I don't know. I think Provorov might be pushing Boquist in. I don't know. Boquist kind of leans on him. It makes sense why they're looking at this. Kulikov and Samoskevich with the assists. If it does go the other way, referees are still taking a look at this here. Well, again, thank you all so much for tuning in. Kings and Islanders is the 9:30 p.m. stream here on the channel. All right, the referees will come out. Here's the call. No goal. They are taking it back. With 2:55 to go in the third, the goal is coming back. And a successful coaching challenge by Rick Bowness and his Blue Jackets. And it is now 3-2 yet again. Okay. So now less than 3 minutes to go. We thought Forsling tied the game, but alas, it was not. And we will now see if Florida can still get the regularizer in the final 2:55 of play. They have been out shooting the Blue Jackets 28-26. Face-off won by Columbus. They'll bank it off the boards and back into the Florida zone. Now jabbing at that puck here on the right side. Panthers will bring it through center. Kachuk dumps it back down low. Lundell below the line. Tarasov will head to the bench. Empty net here for the Panthers. Lundestrom nearly put it into the empty net, but couldn't get all the way there. Jenner battling for it as well. Lundell on the right side. Try to bank that one off the boards. Sorry about that. Empty net for Florida. Trying to find my sticky notes. Here's Brad Marchand. Approaching the final 2 minutes of play in the third. Columbus gets it down low. Banked off the boards. Up top shot. Goes wide. Marchand to Kachuk, a shot. It goes wide of Greaves. Reinhardt Below the line, try to throw a pass in front. Broken up then by Olivier. Olivier now through center to Coyle. Coyle to Olivier for the empty net. He'll move in front. He hits it. Empty net goal for Matthew Olivier. He gets his second goal of the night. And that'll seal things off here for Columbus. They nearly blew a 3-0 lead, but a successful coach's challenge gets the goal called back. And Olivier with his second goal of the night makes it a 4-2 game. Ivan Provorov, 3 assists tonight. Multi-point game for Olivier as well. 1:42 to go. And that will do it. Here's Matejchuk now banking it off the boards. Puck goes up in the air. Now Sabrango battling for it. Boquist fighting on the right side with Severson. Nosek trying to bring that one in. Blue Jackets get it back. They'll flick it to center. Monahan. Stolen back then by Florida. Approaching the final minute of play here in regulation. Islanders and Kings is the next commentary stream tonight. Puck is dumped down low, then into the Columbus zone. Matejchuk battling for it in the final minute of play. Shots are dead even. Florida trying to keep it in. Balinskis on the right side comes in, puts it through the crease. So that means that at the conclusion of tonight's game, I'm doing Islanders Kings. I'm streaming the Sens on Saturday. That means at the conclusion of this game, once that buzzer hits 0, the Panthers will be 10 points back of Columbus. Not the Bruins, who are in that last spot. Columbus. Their season's over. 20 seconds left to play. These two teams will play next Thursday. Puck is banked back down low into the corner. Sillinger battling for it with 10 seconds to go. Time will wind down in the Blue Jackets. We will see how Boston-Nashville is determined, but they move within 1 point of that last wild card spot. Your final score, the Blue Jackets 4 and the Panthers 2. Okay, that will do it for that game. That was a fun one. Quick ending there for me. I got to get ready for Islanders and Kings. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're